sun is blazing here already. It is the perfect weather for a day at the beach or just grilling in your own yard if you want to avoid the crowds.
Yeah, and for most of us, for many of us, this is a very, very long weekend about food, about summer and fun, but don't by any measure forget the sunscreen, because skin cancer is the most common cancer in the U.S. and UV exposure is the most preventable risk factor.
That's right. So to make sure that we're protecting ourselves the correct way, we brought in board-certified dermatologist Dr. Adam Friedman. Dr. Friedman, I didn't realize most people actually put sunscreen on the wrong way, and Americans are confused about it. So help us out. What is the right way to put it on and protect ourselves?
Right. Those are excellent points. And you're right. A recent survey found that a third of Americans don't apply it or don't know how to use it the right way. So first and foremost, you want to apply sunscreen that has an SPF 30 or higher, broad spectrum to exposed areas every day. And more in this case is absolutely better. What we know is most people apply about a quarter of what's needed to get to that SPF number, that UVB blocking number. So typically using a higher one works better in that respect because you kind of get that dilutional effect. You want to stay in that safe range, but you want to apply a lot to those exposed areas every day and repeatedly throughout the day if you're outside.
Yeah, Jackie, I'm that guy who does it wrong. I do this wrong.
Reynolds.
Really do. Yeah, I know.
Well, now you know. Start doing it right.
Full admission right here. Hey, we understand there are two types of sunscreen. Yeah, that's right. Hey, there are two types of sunscreens, right? Chemical and then physical. What's the difference between the two?
Right. So physical, which refers to the minerals, zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, these actually scatter ultraviolet radiation. So they're like physical blockers, where the chemical ones, they absorb like a sponge, and they'll take that dangerous UV energy and convert it into heat energy, which won't actually hurt our cells. So really what I recommend is looking for sunscreens that may have the best of both worlds, combining both of them because they work by different mechanisms to really achieve the same purpose, which is to protect our skin.
Okay, I'm dying to ask you this question for personal reasons.
Sure.
But spray or a lotion, does it make a difference?
So that's not the easiest question, but I'm going to say yes, because with a spray, first off, most people, once again, don't use it the right way. They often use it like a thermal spring water, doing like one of these, whereas you still need to get the right amount. And so with a spray, if you're going to try and get the right amount, I recommend either being very close to the skin and going back and forth to really see that liquid on your skin, or to spray it in your palm to create almost like a little puddle to then utilize it almost like a lotion. But I think we have a better understanding of how much lotion or cream we need, and we can actually visualize the amount given their color in order to get the right amount on your skin to protect you.
Okay, doctor, when we see this on the shelf, okay, we go into the store, we're going to buy some sunscreen, something is always very prominent on the packaging, and that is the SPF number. So how does it work? The higher the number, the better, right? And is there a limit to the protection?
Yeah, those are great questions. So SPF refers only to ultraviolet B radiation, which is the type that burns. You also want to see that broad spectrum labeling, which means it blocks against UVA, which also can cause significant damage. Now, above 50, from a scientific perspective, you really can't block that much more. You know, a 50 will block roughly around 98% of UVB, and you can't ever get to 100. This really goes again into the point that most people don't apply enough. So those SPF 100s are really only valuable if you're not using it the right way, because that 100 ends up being like a 50 or a 30 if you're applying a lower amount than needed to achieve that SPF number.
All right, and the right amount is like 1 ounce. It's like filling up a shot glass, right, with your lotion. Yes. I mean, you could literally do that and then tell the kids, right, put it on yourself, and when it's all gone, you're probably okay. But we can't stop at sunscreen, right? We have to do other ways to protect ourselves.
Right, yeah, and let's also be realistic. You fill up a shot glass and hand to someone to put this on you. You may have some resistance. So, yeah, sunscreen is one part of an overall sun protective regimen. This also includes protective clothing, hats, sunglasses, long sleeve and pants, which I know during the summertime is not so feasible, seeking shade during peak hours between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., and then, of course, doing what you can to avoid easy sources of exposure like tanning beds.
A wealth of information. Board-certified dermatologist Dr. Alan Friedman, thanks so much for joining us. Good
My pleasure. Thank you.
Great information. Absolutely. I know it's like kind of a pain. Kids hate it when you do it, but it's got to be done. Got to be done.